Hello, my name is Maria Morales, and today we're going to be talking about the knowledge of social work practitioners. Okay, so my case revolves around a survivor. A sexually abused survivor um, faces challenges and adversity, and they are more at risk of engaging in risky behavior such as abusing alcohol and drugs. Okay, so the importance of social workers, they work with different systems. They work with individuals, families, communities. They follow 9 core competency values, and these core values, alongside practice behaviors, equip a generalist practice social worker. So, my case is I am working with Marcel Vidente. He is a 21-year-old male. He lives in a rural community. He identifies himself as a bisexual man. He grew up in a conservative Baptist home. He was abused primarily by his father as a child, and then he was sexually abused by older family members. He has tried to heal these wounds by abusing substances and having sexual encounters with with both men and women. Okay, so working with Marcel, when working with Marcel, I'm able to use the generalist intervention model. So we're going to go over that 7-step process. Okay, engagement. So this gave Marcel, during this step, it gave Marcel the opportunity to open up to me and actually let me know you know, what problems he has, what are his needs. So I listened attentively. I kept eye contact with the client. I asked open-ended questions and provided him with information of the agency and the services that it offers. During this during this first meeting, we were able to agree on the frequency of the meetings, and we were able to sign any consent forms that are required, by the agency in order for me to help them. So the assessment step, it defines the client's problem situation. I'm able to know what the root causes um, are of his problem and situation. It provides the social worker the understanding to choose the best intervention. Planning, during the step, I am able to plan goals of the intervention with Marcel. He has to agree to meet, so he has agreed to meet with with a drug abuse counselor and a mental health therapist. And so when a client does make a decision in his own intervention plan, it is more likely that they will commit to it. During the implementation process, Marcel decided to enter a facility that will help him with his abuse with alcohol and drugs. During this time in the facility, he will be able to have group therapy sessions, and then this step gives me the opportunity to make a change of the initial plan. The evaluation is, I think, so important because it evaluates the effectiveness of the intervention. For his particular case, I use the target problem scaling, which is a rating scale. And with this type of evaluation method, I was able to rate and determine the severity of the problem and make sure that the problems have improved in the degree. So there has to be an end. There has to be an end of the client and social work relationship. So with Marcel, it was determined that I would meet him once a week for the next 6 months. It would give me the opportunity to coordinate during this step. It gives me the opportunity to coordinate and assist him with the other services and the other needs that he is needing. So this is he's not employed. He does want to go back to school. He is in need of health coverage. So I need to find a clinic that where he is able to apply and receive benefits and qualify to see a provider. so he can receive health services. He is also homeless, so I need to find a resource, a service that can help him with that. Okay, follow up is very important. So after we meet for this, after we do the 6 month meetups, I will follow up with the client in a month and then at 2 months. And it helps me decide if the client is on track with his progress, and it determines if the intervention implemented actually worked. So that's why follow up is so important. So it is of great importance for the social workers to tell if the plan's interventions and goals have actually worked. Some of the theoretical frameworks that I use with Marcel is the systems theory, the rational choice theory, the strengths and empowerment theoretical framework. Because of time, I would like to just say that the strengths and empowerment theoretical framework is essential in social work because the social worker is able to focus on the client's positive characteristics. And I also wrote some information on rural communities, the issues and the challenges that they face. And when social workers have to go into these communities, they have to make sure that they are following their agency's eligibility requirements. For example, they need to make sure that that rural community is still within the county that they're allowed to serve. Also, in rural communities, the residents are not very trusting of outsiders coming in. And Marcel does not identify himself as a bisexual African American male. He is 21 years of age. He is of low socioeconomic status and is currently homeless. So these are, when we're talking about diversity, these are things that social workers have to, know not and be able to work with these different individuals. Okay, so as stated before, we follow the 9 core competencies. As far as social and economic justice, everyone has a right to basic needs such as shelter, food, clothing, health coverage. So I'm going to do everything that's in my power to help Marcel receive all the needs all the services and the needs that he needs, and that is his right just for being a human. Okay, so professional social workers, they require at least a bachelor's degree in social work. They have to be licensed. They have to be a member of the National Association of Social Workers. They have to have at least a year of experience working in the public health field. And the salary range in my agency for a social worker is from $40,000 to $50,000. Okay, so social workers advocate, they mobilize, and they're catalysts for community improvement and positive change. Thank you, and these are my references.